from the crowd. We're going into game number 2, Echo against Blacklist International.
This is going to be a very interesting game because momentum is definitely on the side of Echo. And if you take a look at the items, Benny Cutie going with a killing spree on that Claude, a very aggressive option that we do not see that often.
Yeah, no, it's been a while since we last saw that. That means they're going for the throw. They're going to go quick here. Looking at the buff starts, it's diagonal. It's a clear mirror because orange for one and then purple for the other.
I mean, looking at, because we're talking about the emblems. If you're having a killing spree, I kind of feel like you are understanding. Hold on, before that, Edward against Sanford. I'm watching. Is this going to be a clear-cut kill of a 1v1? So far, they're just poking each other.
There's going to be a difference maker. In comes Sanji with the flicker pull. Not enough burst, not yet.
Oof. That's a flicker being used by Sanji so early on. And again, you can just see the tempo that Echo wants to play at, but that roam will cost them. Blacklist already trying to punish that maneuver. They might just go for Sanji right here.
Oh, there's too many strings on this map. Sanji very low. Wise puts him very low and just straight down under. That's Wise trying first blood.
Yeah, this time Blacklist, they're starting off strong. They're like, we're going to invade your jungle. If you rotate, we're going to stay here in mid. But over here, Wise, already level 4. Does he want to look for another kill for himself?
Well, they see nobody in that lane, so Wise will be just clearing out the lane, trying to push that lead everywhere else. That is the pressure gameplay that we see being used in the current meta. But now with the S's in the mid lane, it is a bit of a contrast, but look at the damage coming in towards Venus.
This has to be some different build on Yaoi because that's what popped in. Now Caldeezy coming in and a full Shadow Stampede putting Haji into the ground. That's 1-1 at 2 minutes.
A good answer coming in mid, getting the return kill now, equalizing 1-1. The turtle just spawned, and looks like Echo, they're going straight for the turtle. Looking at the position from Blacklist International, they're not gonna contest at all. So right now, Blacklist, they got some lead in the mid just now. What is the next step? What is Blacklist looking at now that Wise is level 5, already having the Divine Judgment?
They need to go for pickoff, and if they want to try and use Haji as the main tool, they have to try and shut down Sanji as well. Although the fact that Sanji's on the Paramis, that's a bit more of a utility hero, but in the EXP lane though, again, constant fighting from both these players.
Yeah, no, it's furious, and it's fast, and it's relentless. They're still going. Sanford, very low, flickering on out, saving his life.
Love watching the EXP lane. It's a battle, but now Wise here getting caught by Caldeezy.
Appraiser's Wrath, very little damage. Here comes everything. Biru's Passion, taking down Yaoi. That's a clear take for Blacklist, about 500 gold ahead.
Echo has so much sustainability, but against the early damage coming in from that Beatrix, it just was not enough. So Yaoi was eventually taken down due to that burst damage. And look at that Dawning Light, man. That is some accuracy from the side of Haji. And Blacklist now have the tempo, have a small gold lead, but considering what Game 1 looked like, this is way more than enough. You take a look at a bit of the items here. Clock of Destiny is trying to be built by Haji, but in the XP lane, still yet another fight.
Edward versus Caldeezy. The rest of Echo versus Black in mid. They're still going. Welcome back to the 1v1 down bottom, and both disengage.
The 1v1 that lasts almost forever. Looking at how things are going on, it's just like everyone's just testing their power. How much damage I can put out. Edward going against Edward.
Abysm Strike taken down. Edward took a few more basics underneath that tier 1, but Sanford gets it.
This Direwolf pick, man, is just dangerous. It does so well against all these tanky heroes that has been slowly but surely gaining favor in the current meta. But now Blacklist crowd around the top side trying to make sure that they shut down Danny Cutie.
This is a 2v3. They pop the Blazing Duet early as well as Yaoi's ult, but that's fine. Blacklist disengages down bottom. It's a 3v none. Might as well be a free turtle. Echo takes 100% so far, 4 minutes in.
Right now, looking at how Blacklist, they're moving around, Wise is farming, so he's usually alone. So even if he catches someone, there's not going to be anyone to really back it up. So it almost looks like Blacklist, they're like, you know what, fine, we're not going to contest anything in the river. We're going to try to put all our investments in the gold lane.
Oh, and the gold lane is looking mighty tight. It's crowded up here. It's a 4v4. They've left Sanford and Edward down bottom, and they both disengage. A minute and a half until the next turtle.
I can't help but feel that Wise has been farming a lot more diligently. And yes, it's good for him, but he's not making use of that pick of potential coming in from the Divine Judgment. In these fights, in these dive attempts towards Benny Cutie, that Divine Judgment would have been a very valuable tool in ensuring that they can just go for the kills.
You're right. After hitting level 4 at about the minute-and-a-half mark, Wise only used DJ maybe twice, tops.
Yeah, because right now, when can he actually use it? Because the way that Echo is moving around, they're not really giving a lot of opportunities. And as I say that, Carl Tizzy is trying to put pressure onto Oh My Venus.
Oh.
That being said, Oheb shoots in between.
I wonder if that's the idea, right? Use these utility tools defensively and rely on the long range. They have a Diggy, they have a Beatrix and a Savior as well, so they can just keep poking and use the Divine Judgment as a protective tool instead, just to ensure that the Blazing Duet can be cancelled, that Sanford diving can be cancelled. But look, honestly, there's just so much violence in this EXP lane, man.
Yep, even if Sanford walks away with his life, I give that win to Edward. He sent him home.
Right now, I kind of feel like Blacklist, they really don't want to go anywhere else. It's like, you guys try. And Carl Tizzy coming from the side.
Oh, he puts a few beads onto Oh My Venus. Bombs away by Oheb. That's an ult from Bennett. Carl Tizzy at about half health. They disengage.
Now we'll be able to sustain him back up. And this is the problem. Blacklist has a lot of poke damage, but Echo also has a good amount of sustain. So unless Blacklist can somehow get a finish, right? Get the kill outright, the SS is going to be a huge problem. But look at that!
Oh, Sanford commits the flicker, but thinks twice about taking down Haji. He sends him home. Now the turtle fight. Oh, there's a great pull by Blacklist. Very, very low. Oh, it bombs away. Cartesi coming in with the retribution. Wise dashes on out. Cyclone Eye. Shades of Season 4.
Right now, I kind of feel like if we're going to look at items, Blacklist, they really need to make sure Oh My Venus has that concealed, because it looks like it's so difficult to engage onto Echo. But Echo, they have no problem engaging.
5, make that Season 5, the Cyclone Eye. But now, up top, oh no, in mid. Sanford gets Edward on him. Yo, this fight has gone from bottom to mid. Now it's not done. Cartesi was Haji, very low. Edward caught between Yawi and Sanji. Cartesi knocks up one. There's the ult by OM. Nibiru's passion. Will they force it? There's the ult by Yawi. And there's the pull by Wise. Divine Judgment onto Sanji. There's no called altar, folks. They disengage. Both teams are very good at making decisions. They're going to force this tier 1 in mid. Wise pulled back in. He's going to get out. And there's a time's journey. Queen V saves the jungler.
Ooh, close call for the side of Blacklist, but Echo right now has so much more damage to work around with. If you guys have noticed, Benny Cutie has finished his golden staff at well before 7 minutes. So this is a very scary claw just scaling up despite having this very aggressive emblem. Now looking at the actual items here, Vincetta Talisman also complete for Sanji, means that Echo can go for those plays more often and more regularly. So Blacklist needs to be very, very careful and just read the movement patterns coming in from Echo.
Oh, Edward, caught between 3 members. Shadow Stampede pulling him in. Benny Cutie making quick work of that tier 1 down bottom. Good news, bad news. Blacklist looking better than they were in game 1, but bad news, Echo's owning majority of the map.
Well, right now, it looks like both teams, they are really committed to actually dishing out the damage, but once they got what they need, it's like, yo, I'm out. I don't need to stay any longer, because we've seen a lot of fights being engaged, but it's all secondary. You know, it's like, if I can get the kill, good, great bonus. But if a turtle is in front of me, I'm going to go for that. If I see a turtle, I'm going to go for that. Now, Lord Spawn, will they go for that?
This is the crazy part about Echo, man. They're so aggressive, but they never force it and never overdo it. So they take what makes sense, and if there's anything else that's still baiting them, they don't fall for that kind of trap. And now they're putting it to Edward.
Ooh, that's a pull. Edward goes on back. Lord at less than half health. Dawning Light already spent by Haji. There's a knock-up on the Wise. Bounce away! That's a Bennett ult. Wise secures the Lord with the retribution. They're looking for a solid blazing duet, and Benny takes down one. The Queen falls. Wise running away. OF takes down Benny, and Wise underneath the tier 2 turret retreating. Sanji looking for his man. Yaoi slows him down. Down goes Wise as well. It's a 2-for-1, but Blacklist gets the Lord.
Get the Lord, and this is a chance for Blacklist to try and equalize, right? Get some more objectives on the map, some of these turrets down, but Echo, they just played that fight just so aggressively, and I think, in a way, Blacklist came out on top there.
Oh, Sanchi, threatened here by Edward, ever the threat, Agent Zero. making so much space for Oheb to make plays with. Now, oh, here's another 1v1. Haji's gonna fall. Appraiser's Wrath. What was Imam doing there?
Yeah, 'cause right now, Blacklist, they are trying to put the pressure. With Carl TZ coming from the side. Edward taking quite a lot of damage.
They're not done. Blazing Duet here, plus an ult from Yaoi. Edward, he's healing, but he's not gonna last very long. BMI by Benny, straight into the face of V and Oheb. They push him back.
Right now, slow things down. Echo, it looks like even if Blacklist, they're ready for a fight, they're not entirely ready because right now, Echo, they're looking more tankier, more damage. Looking at the items, Blacklist, are they ready to fight back or they need to wait a little bit more?
I mean, Edward is pretty solid as a frontline right here. He has the Antique Cuirass, so denying most of the ability damage coming in from the side of Echo. And along with that, Wise is also going for a full tanky build with the Ruthless Breastplate and the Oracle. So that will be the main front line. And they do have the Necklace of Durance just to reduce the healing coming in from Echo. So very smart itemization. But at this point, you have to wonder if they have the right utility, but not enough damage.
Well, right now, Blacklist International, the only thing in my head, I kind of feel like they should be enough in damage. The only thing is how are they going to engage? How are they going to deal with all this healing coming in from Yaoi? Because as a Kaja, you want to pick someone off. But if they're moving as 5, good luck.
Yeah, it's basically playing your doppelganger because this is the Orca Ube we're seeing. They're together for a majority of this 11-minute game, and that's why it's so difficult for King Wise to engage.
Is it called a School of Orca?
No, it's the Orca Ube. Oh yeah, the pod.
The pod,
Yes,
yeah, the pod,
yes.
yeah.
They're
I
a
learned
pod.
something new from an American.
Mr. Wagner.
Mr. Wagner, yes.
A lot of Orcas, I mean, it makes sense. And now Haji has the Lightning Truncheon though, so maybe, right, if they can just do a lot of burst damage from far away, they might just be able to force Yaoi to use the Blessing of the Moon Goddess before the big fight even begins. That might be the exact scenario they're looking for, because Wise is just moving back and forth, threatening the engage, even though he hasn't been very dynamic with it.
Okay, look, right now it's 12 minutes, okay? If at any point Blacklist wants to get an engagement, this is where you do it, because if Echo really wants this Lord, can you actually make sure you don't get hit by Haji with the Mystic Field? Because if everyone's gathered together, you're gonna get stunned. Wise will find an angle to pull you aside with this Lord take. Will Blacklist do something with it?
Lord at about a third of its health. There's a knockup, and there's a split, and there's the ult by Yaoi. Dawning Light run on through. Cult Altar on cue. Lord very low. Carl easy secures it, and look at Benny Cutie in the back line, punished by Oheb. Oh, and it's Wise, very low as well. There's another knockup, and there's a flicker in by Sanji with a Shadow Stampede to boot. Wise very low, he still survives. Sanji punished by Edward, but he's gonna spawn really fast. 1 for none so far. A Lord for a kill, they're still going. Carteezy very low, Yaoi doing his best to heal him. Haji with the shutdown.
Well, like I said, man, if Blacklist, they want to do anything with their team fight, they gotta wait on the Lord. You gotta wait for Echo to do what you're expecting them to do. Move together, give a spot for Haji to actually make it so that they can't move as a group, and then wait for Wise to get that catch. And Oheb, 3-0 right now, doing a lot of damage onto Echo.
Now you see the issue with the composition from Echo right here. They have a lot of damage, they have a lot of sustainability with the Blessing of the Moon Goddess and the Cult Altar, but when Blacklist kite away and move away from the fight, they have no way of chasing or ensuring that Blacklist is in there scrapping against them. So Blacklist can just outmaneuver them like we saw in the previous Lord Pit, and the longer the fight goes, the more DPS and less combo reliant heroes from the side of Blacklist can do a lot of damage. We saw that happen in the previous fight, so Echo now needs to make sure that the fights are quick and simple.
Yep, they essentially have to penetrate the pod, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right now, honestly, looking at this, I feel like this is a very complicated draft to really pilot, because Blacklist, if they're gonna win the fights, they're kind of manipulating Echo to do what they want. Carl TZ engages.
Oh, they find My Venus forcing out an early times journey. Now they're gonna back out a Dawning Light for good measure. Sanford putting a few beads onto Edward from the back line, forcing out a Cult Altar. Oh, this is not a good engage for either team. Yaoi pulls out the ult, both skittish to force this fight.
But still, a lot of pressure right now Echo is putting on to Blacklist. Basically, Carl Teasy is just reminding them, is like, you guys want to fight, don't forget, I'm here. I can tank the damage, and I can deal the damage. So if you see me, you run first. You got it? You run first.
I mean, I feel like the main engage tool for Echo right now is going to be Carl Teasy, and they have to try and switch it up a bit because it seems like Blacklist is always ready every time he goes in for that engagement. Look at that snipe!
Very low. Sanji backing out, just dodging the dawning light about an inch away. Yaoi now in trouble. Gets the divine judgment on him. Haji obliges. That's a clear pickoff. A win for Blacklist. Now 1,400 gold ahead.
That is the poke damage we've been talking about. Before the fight even begins, everyone gets taken so low due to the snipes, due to the dawning light. And afterwards, on the way back, Echo is just too slow. Wise can take his easy time, just dragging them back with the Divine Judgment, and they have no solution to this playstyle that Blacklist is showing them right now.
Blacklist, just by using the Lord, winning one fight around the river, they have changed this game into their favor, and not by a little. 2.5k gold lead. Now doing a lot of damage from the back line. So right now, they're activating the draft. We don't have to engage. You don't want to engage. We just deal the damage.
They're past the LaFell threshold and they find Sanford. There's the Divine Judgment, popping the Conqueror's extra life. Dawning Light pierces on through the pod and forcing the ult from Yaoi. Can they survive this? Carlisi just focused on the Lord. Cutie forced to go to the back line. They take down Edward. Sanji gets the kill. Sanford very low. Oheb, the Filipino sniper, gets it. Carlisi, the best in the world, confirms it, but at the cost of his life. Another one falls, Cutie, and there was no one left for Echo.
Wipe out Blacklist International, 4 members with a minion wave pushing in. But look at this, Sanji tries to do something.
Can he? No, the answer is no. Oh Lord, the Lord, speak it up. He spawns. That's Echo 6-man pushing out in their favor.
Now he spawns.
That was almost over, but no. Blacklist, they're continuing on. Oheb shredding that very low, and Wise engages Yaoi. Nothing can be done. Blacklist International wins game number 2. Blacklist International answers back. Even though the early stages, it looks a little bit slow, but once the Lord is there, they use it to their own advantage.
That is a dangerous late game, man. There's so much damage coming in from Blacklist. Even Venus was on the Diggy with a Divine Glaive. So in the late game, that damage is no joke. And with Echo just being so stiff, right? So slow in maneuvering, they get the Lord, but at what cost? Having a full wipeout with the long death timers, Blacklist instantly just capitalizes on that moment.